As you've seen, that means nothing. But Colorado State, the number 2 seed in the West, about to take on Southwest Missouri State. We'll have that game for you as soon as we catch our breath. Hope you enjoyed it.
Well, there was one year where
Tomorrow at 7:30 on ESPN.
Welcome to sold-out Moby Arena in Fort Collins, Colorado. Second-round matchup between the 2nd seed Colorado State and the 7th seed Southwest Missouri State Lady Bears. Let's take a look quickly at our Pringles starting lineups. First, for the Lady Bears, they are led by Jackie Stiles, a sophomore guard. We'll talk a lot more about her as the night goes on, but Rashonda Reed, so crucial underneath.
Very crucial. She has the ability to dominate inside. She's number 1 in the Missouri Valley Conference in rebounding. She needs to have a big night.
For Colorado State, Heather Hammon, Katie Cronin, Farrah McGill, Roxanne Manning, and Becky Hammon, the All-American guard for them. Katie Cronin, a forward who has to come up big again.
She proved in the last game in the first round against UCSB how critical her scoring can be. She's excellent in the clutch.
Cheryl Burnett, in her 12th season, in charge of Southwest Missouri State. She's taken her team to 8 NCAA appearances over the last 9 years. Tom Collin, only his 2nd season here at Colorado State. His team has lost only 2 games all year, and they are the number 2 seed here in the West region. Colorado State has all of its 7 points so far from Heather Hammon, and that team certainly red hot here at Moby Arena. 20 straight wins. The last time they lost here, January of 1998. Southwest has won 16 of 17 overall. Pam Ward along with Vera Jones here. Glad to have you with us, as one team will advance on to Los Angeles. Rashonda Reed, there she is inside, Vera.
Very interesting that we talked about how critical she's going to be on the inside, and very interesting that Colorado State decided to go into a zone because they also realized how critical she is on the inside. They're trying to lock it up. Didn't work.
Becky Hammon goes inside to Cronin, reverses over Reed.
Is that beautiful or what? We talked about her scoring in the clutch, and we always talk about Becky Hammon and how creative she can be, but I think Cronin's demonstrating a little bit of her creativity as well.
A little bit of pressure now. There's Yen Hua as she tries to find Kimberly McDowell. She fumbles it out of bounds. Becky Hammon is a great scorer. No mistake about that. Averaging over 22 points a game, but she can do other stuff.
Yeah, and she's a great passer. In order to see all the way over those big posts in the middle to find Cronin like that was just absolutely excellent.
She also leads his team in assists, 4.7 a game. Southwest Missouri, one more turnover so far from Colorado State. Jackie Stiles, by the way, back in the game. She started and was taken out for a little while. We have a foul called here. How did these teams get here? Well, it was a major battle for both clubs in the first round. Southwest winning on Carly Deershot with about 11 seconds left to beat UC Santa Barbara. And what a deceptive score. That Northridge score as a 23-4 run by Colorado State closed out a very gutty 15th seed.
The 2 seniors, Cronin and Hammon, came back in the last 6 minutes and turned the game around. Otherwise, it looked like Cal State Northridge was going to move on.
And another turnover this time against Colorado State. It will go back to Southwest Missouri. Trailing this one 9-4, Katie Cronin. You get a good look at her as she takes a seat. Cronin had 12 of her 19 points in the last 5 minutes of that first-round win over Cal State Northridge. She was pretty much almost transparent for the first part of that game, but really turned it on when she had to. There is Jackie Stiles, number 10 in the dark uniform, Colorado State.
Look at a double team.
Absolutely. She's going to see double teams all night. Then Claw over Hammon, who blocked him.
Hammon showing some defense, almost an over and back there. She didn't establish full possession in the front court.
Yen Hua with the defensive assignment, just a little bit too much pressure, and she will be called for her second foul. Now let's take a look at these guards. Jackie Stiles, only a sophomore, second in the country in scoring, and then there's Becky Hammon, who has such a complete overall game.
Stiles, her 18 points in the first round against UCSB was, believe it or not, her 5th lowest output of the season. Can you imagine that? 18 points, and that's almost your worst. Her points are so critical to this team. The same goes for Becky Hammon and her team. She shot very poorly, but still came away with over 20 points.
Angie Gorton over top Tara Mitchum there, and Southwest comes down with the rebound. Stiles working against Jackie Johnson.
Reed is outside. They're going to want to bring her back in, even though she does have the ability to shoot, but she needs to be inside for that second shot.
And that was Kimberly McDowell inside getting her 4th point. As Colorado State now has a 3-point lead. Good shooting, 4 for 9 for Colorado State. Shannon Randall's inside.
That's beautiful. And we talked about the emphasis again on balanced attack. Everybody's talking guard play. Becky Hammon, Jackie Stiles. They actually will end up canceling each other out because they are so great. It's the other team members that have to make the difference in this game.
Becky Hammon has yet to score, but she has 3 assists.
Right.
Deer inside to McDowell. She's double teamed, puts it up anyway, misses badly. There's Tara Mitchum who slides in for the follow.
That's a good look from Mitchum. McDowell a little soft inside. She's just a little bit suspect in the post. Oh, they're running. They are running. Beautiful look to Randalls down the floor.
Shannon Randalls again with another bucket. She has 4 of Colorado State's points. And Cheryl Burnett wants to talk about it. Becky Hammon, again, not on the board yet as far as scoring, but the assists are there.
I love Hammon. Just when you think you know the rules, she changes them. You think she's going to shoot all the time? No, she shows you that she can also be an exceptional passer. She's finding the floor, doing all the right things right now.
4 assists already for Becky, and head coach Tom Collin, you get a look at him there talking to Becky. So that was one of the reasons why they were able to come back and win on Friday night. Becky stopped trying to just be a scorer and became an all-around player, and she was able to dish off to Katie Cronin, and they got the win.
And when you hear people talk about Becky Hammon, they talk about how great a scorer she is, but she, again, leads in assists.
Leads in most statistical categories for them, and we'll certainly elaborate as the night goes on.
Oh, yeah, she's got a full page of accolades we'll never even get to, probably.
Stiles with the pull-up, and she misses. Cronin gets position and draws the foul on Carly Deer. Deer has 2.
Carly Deer, again, she's a young player as a sophomore. She's been kind of critical to this Southwest Missouri State team as well. She's been able to get in, and over the last 16 games, she's been averaging about 6 assists. So again, that you're getting a little feel for the teamwork of both of these teams and how critical they all have to come into play tonight.
Sarah Singer has checked in for Southwest Missouri. Neither team really goes very deep. Southwest about 8 deep, the same for Colorado State. Becky misses again. Rashonda Reed comes down with the rebound, and Becky Hammon has been stone cold.
Well, she's been struggling, and I think that bothers her a little bit, but she still continues to keep her head up and tries to play good defense, tries to see the court. She knows as a shooter that shot is going to eventually come.
She had made only 8 of her last 29 shots coming into tonight's game, and good defense from Colorado State, forcing a 5th turnover and also another foul.
What about Shannon Randalls, though? Man, she's coming in and having a great night, too. She already proved what she could do under the boards. Here she is, a really big factor in the middle of the paint. She gets a hand out on the pass and kind of fights for it. And again, defense makes a difference, and it's turning back into their offense.
You were talking about how someone else would have to come up big other than the guards, and Randalls has certainly asserted herself, as has Heather Heyman early.
Great pass. They are running that textbook style. Next year, you'll open your handbook on a give and go over the top, and there will be a picture of Colorado State, because that's beautiful.
Southwest Missouri having trouble in the backcourt. 5 assists now for Becky Hammon, and Katie Cronin just a little bit too aggressive. They almost got the 5-second call.
Beautiful. Hammon is just her court awareness is incredible.
She can score, she can pass, she can do it all. Her team is up by 7. The winner goes to the Sweet 16. More battles against UC Santa Barbara. Southwest Missouri winning by 2. Jackie Stiles with the leading scorer with 18 points. Katie Cronin came up huge, particularly at the end for Colorado State.
Yeah, again, she made such a big difference, and now some of her other teammates are stepping in and doing the exact same thing. Jackie Stiles still not off to the type of start she'd like to get off to, but it's time for the rest of her team to step up as well.
UC Santa Barbara games featured 10 ties and 23 lead changes. That was incredible.
It was incredible.
Carly Deer winning it with that shot. Jackie Stiles, no points tonight. Becky Hammon, no points tonight. But everybody else is coming up, particularly on defense. Jackie Johnson there with a steal, but she throws it away, trying to get it to Angie Gorton. Southwest breaking back. Singer over to Reed, who gets two.
And that might be the momentum that they need right now. Again, we talked about how critical Reed is going to be on the inside, but they are locking her up down low.
Doing a really good job, obviously, of keeping her away. Neither team is known for its strong post play. They're known for that. Two-point shooting, Katie Cronin.
Now that's a little piece of what she delivered in the first round in the last 6 minutes. This time she's getting out early in the first 6 minutes, or first 10 minutes anyway of the game, and that's exactly what they're going to need to win Colorado State.
And that's good for her. In her last 4 games, she was only shooting 27% from the floor was Cronin, so that's got to feel good to nail that three. Shot clock down to 8 for Reed. A little bit outside of the range, and she is probably more effective certainly down low.
Definitely. Now she has actually stepped out beyond the arc and hit a couple, but that's not her place. What about that from Johnson?
Jackie Johnson's turn to throw up a three. She hit 33% of them during the regular year. The lead has ballooned to 11. And this crowd at Moby Arena, which has not seen this team lose in 14 months, is getting on the Lady Bears. Colorado State has shot, coming into this game, 738 threes.
Oh, yeah, and then Johnson, what about, you talk about other players stepping up. Now that's how you step up.
Knock down that three. Good basketball coming your way, NIT style. Second round action tomorrow as the Tigers of Princeton take on North Carolina State. Kenny Inge and company, 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. Jackie Johnson with 3 of Colorado State's last 10 points. A 10-0 run in the last 3 minutes has given the Rams this 11-point lead. Colorado State hitting on 3 of 6 3-pointers so far, and Jackie Stiles, midway through this first half, has yet to score.
Johnson has a big assignment. She's over here in the left corner of your screen on Stiles, number 10. That's a big assignment.
Mitchum with the nice spin move. And she gets the hoop, and a foul has been called as well.
Mitchum was a little bit cold in the first round game, but she was due to have a good night tonight. We might see more from her. This is a nice move. She's proven she's got some inside game, too. On the spin, looking good.
Farrah McDill called for the foul. It's her first, the team's third. The Lady Bears have 5 against them. Karen Mitchum, a transfer from Ohio State, completes the 3-point play. He's averaging 8 points a game, already has 5. Becky Hammon against Jackie Stiles. What a matchup.
Yeah, and that's, again, we've been talking about this matchup the whole time. Expect to see some groovy moves.
Throwing it inside to McDill. She's cut off, and a foul is called underneath against Southwest Missouri State.
Colorado's doing the right thing by trying to punch it inside. What happened also in the game before is they got so hung up on looking for Becky Hammon and trying to work that ball around the perimeter. They never took the time to really get it into the post where Cronin might have been available.
And Katie called for the foul, her first, team's 6th. Stiles against Hammon. They know each other.
Good D. Great defense.
Shauna Reed gets it. Over to Stiles. Can Hammon stop her? Yes, at least on that possession. And Stiles is over in this game.
And here she comes back. Becky Hammon against Stiles.
McDill for 3. That's way off the mark. Colorado State asking for the tip. And the official says nice try, but Art Bowmingen, Doug Cloud, Karen Wilhite are our officials.
Farrah McDill was definitely requesting that they give her the call because she didn't want that air ball chant from the Southwest Missouri fans.
Jackie Stiles 0 for 3 from the floor. Her team trails at 21-13. They have the basketball. Mitchum working against Hammon. Hammon comes up with a steal, but another foul is called underneath. Going a little close. And that one goes against Becky.
What an incredible story, Jackie Stiles. Again, she came into the tournament the nation's leading scorer. Since her 18-point performance last night, she's dropped by, I think, like 0.2 to Tamika Whitmore from Memphis.
Reed, good pass inside to Katie. Nice. Give the assist to Rashonda Reed. Cavey has 2. He's a freshman from Mechanicsville, Iowa, and the crowd gets into it again as the lead has been cut to 6.
They're on their feet. That 6th player.
Hammon.
Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about. What a beautiful move. From out front, she's dangerous. Look at this. Jackie, are you checking me? Are you? Because I'm really thinking about scoring right now. And I'm going to draw the foul. That is absolutely beautiful. She sized her up, found her hole, and went with it. Becky Hammon, the senior leader.
First 2 points for Becky. She was 16 of 20 from the free throw line the other night in that tight win over Cal State Northridge, and that's uncharacteristic. Becky misses the free throw, but Southwest a little not so composed, I guess you could say right now.
And as you look there at Coach Cheryl Burnett, one of the things, she talked about 3 big keys to tonight's game. They need to stop the dribble penetration. That hasn't happened. Contest the threes. That hasn't happened. Rebounding has been there. But one of the things she added was that intangible of this crowd. Moby Arena is really, really stepping in and causing some havoc for the team.
Roxanne Manning back into the game for Colorado State. Shannon Randall working against Cavey. Manning, not much of an offensive threat, one of the best defensive players, though, in their conference in the Big West. She misses, but Randall comes up with the rebound. Randall puts it up. Mitchell gets it for Southwest. Up to Stiles.
They need a big shot. Not just for the scoreboard, but for their momentum. They need to feel good about their offense right now.
Mitchum forces some contact, and she will go to the line.
Right now, the Southwest Missouri State's offense is looking really, I don't want to say raggedy, but, you know, they're forcing shots as opposed to waiting and being comfortable in their offense. This is a nice look for the drive, but not the best penetration, and probably not the best shot that was available.
Angie Gorton with that foul. It is her first.
Good about their offense right now.
Mitchum forces some contact, and she will go to the line.
Right now, the Southwest Missouri State's offense is looking really, I don't want to say raggedy, but, you know, they're forcing shots as opposed to waiting and being comfortable in their offense. This is a nice look for the drive, but not the best penetration, and probably not the best shot that was available.
Angie Gorton with that foul. It is her first. As Tara Mitchum goes to the line, 5 points and 3 rebounds for her. And she misses.
Again, they're all out of sync. This is not the same Southwest Missouri team that we saw a couple of nights ago on Friday night.
Mitchum's a 76% free throw shooter. She hits the second of 2. She has 6 points as Colorado State tries to make it to its first ever Sweet 16.
Saddle up today for a different brand of lifestyle, all at Midway Ranches.
Tickets? How many people asked us for tickets today? You couldn't get in. The second straight sellout in this building, third of the season. They were sold out Friday night for the first round, and nobody got an extra ticket for this one.
How about all the signs up and down the road that all the restaurants and commercial places that were welcoming Becky and the rest of the crew.
This town has fallen in love with this basketball team. Hayden gets down low, gets her own rebound, tries again. Good effort. Mitchum with the rebound, and a foul's going to be called on Angie Gorton.
Colorado State knew that they had to really focus on being on the boards. They're definitely aware of Rashonda Reed, who really hasn't been as active as she has. Remember, she's one of the top rebounders in the country. I think 21st she ranks right now in the NCAA.
Rashonda Reed, 13 double-doubles this year. Co-captain on this team is all Missouri Valley Conference first team. Rowe, as she's called, has only 4 points. Jackie Stiles has yet to score, and another foul has been called. And that last time out, Jackie Stiles got an earful from her head coach.
Oh, yeah. She was in her face. Sometimes, one of the things Jackie Stiles, because she is so good, one of the things Burnett focuses on, she's determined to make sure that Jackie understands is teamwork. It's got to be teamwork. Even though she is as good as she is, it's her team that's going to make her better.
Now, both teams are in the bonus. The 7th team foul here is Roxanne Manning is called for the hold on Jackie.
Yes, that she didn't let her through.
Roxanne Manning was known as Roxanne McCrory until recently. She got married to Brian Manning, excuse me. Brian McCray, of course, is an outfielder in Major Leagues. He's not married to her. Hey, Jackie Stiles has finally scored.
Roxanne Manning, the homecoming queen, by the way. Jackie, she needed to feel that. She needed to get in the book somehow.
84% free throw shooting.
Once she starts feeling it, I'm telling you, watch out. She's going to create some incredible stuff offensively. She has to if this team's going to win.
Becky Hammon, guarded by Stiles again. She's doing a good job so far.
And Hammond's only 1 from 4, but what she's not defending is the pass. She's got 5 assists already.
Hammon, that other little move again.
That same drive to the right side. She demonstrates a little hang time as she falls off balance. I love her because she makes up shots that I don't have a definitive term for.
25-18, the Rams in front of the Lady Bears. Another foul called underneath on the hold. And it's going to be against Southwest Missouri State, an offensive foul. And Cavey has 2 fouls. Here's Hammon.
Becky Hammon, here she is on the drive. Same one that just kind of hangs and finds the glass. That's the mark of a real scorer, though. She keeps her eye on the basket the entire time. She had 2 defenders coming at her. She never took her eye off the glass. Knew exactly where to put it in the square, off balance and everything.
5 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists for Becky Hammon, who's listed as 5'6", and has some hang time and absolutely a complete basketball game.
3-time Black Player of the Year. Sports Illustrated All-American, along with Holtzclaw and White McCarty out there in Purdue.
Pretty good company.
Oh, yeah.
Here's that pressure again. Colorado State is a team that likes to put the press on, and Coach Collins said it would depend on how tired he thought his team was. And there's a call on Johnson. Jackie Johnson picks up one, and they're calling it close.
It was very interesting how Colorado State coach Tom Collins, as you see there, keeps substituting different faces, giving Jackie Stiles different looks. This time, Jackie Johnson, she's here. I don't know about that. I mean, that's ticky-tack.
Stiles has all 3 of her points from the free throw line.
That was really petty contact.
Stiles leading his team in scoring, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It just goes on and on. She had 52 points in a game against Baylor earlier this season.
There are teams that don't score 52 points in an entire game,
as we've seen some of the men's teams in this NCAA tournament.
Yikes.
Becky! Wow.
She just sizes up her opponent, and she just does it so confidently. She never takes her eye off the basket. She knows exactly where she's going with that basketball.
And it's sort of a fall-away three-pointer. There's no way you can defend that. Reed, rebound, Randall. State looks to run. Oh, and it goes off of Becky Hammon's foot. 6 turnovers now for the Rams. Southwest trying to find some flow to their offense. They haven't so far as single misses.
It's a pass and a shot, a pass and a shot. They need to start working it around. See if they can find Reed down there in the post who's working hard. Reed one-on-one is just as good as anybody in the post, but she's getting no looks.
Now Becky Hammon there drawing another foul, but on the last possession, Stiles loses her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is just poetry in motion. Shakespeare in shorts, I like to call it.
And I wonder about that matchup, Ira. If you were Cheryl Burnett, would you put Jackie Stiles on Becky Hammon? You don't want her to get into foul trouble, and Jackie is really not known as a great defensive player.
No, she's not, and I think that is a very interesting point that you made. Very interesting point, because she might get a little tired.
Stiles is sitting down for the moment. Plenty more golf action to come on ESPN this season, including the Standard Register ping. Annika Sorenstam, last year's LPGA Tour money winner, among those battling for the first prize of $127,000. Check it out on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Becky Hammon gets a standing ovation as she heads to the bench.
And what a great person she is. I mean, just to talk to her, she's got an infectious smile. She's just a really, really all-round good person. Very, very humble about her greatness.
You would be hard-pressed to find someone to say a bad thing about her,
Especially in this town.
Throw Reed. Finally got the shot she wanted, but missed it.
And again, she got the shot, but it was in a rush. Their transitional baskets are kind of homemade. They're not really true transition baskets.
Manning inside to Hammon. Draws another foul. Good pass there from Roxanne Manning. And Colorado State will go to the line once again.
That's a good pass inside from Manning. Hammon gets that one step through. That's a good post move to look through, and then, of course, caught the foul.
3 fouls on Yen Kwa. Jackie Stiles and Becky Hammon going to check in after Heather Hanen makes this free throw.
Yen Kwa might have been in the game, 3 minutes?
Yes,
and she's already got her third foul.
3 fouls. That's a little foul thrown as she goes to the bench. Becky and Jackie are back in. Heather Hanen will shoot the second of 2. 10 team fouls now against the Lady Bears. Colorado State in the double bonus for the rest of this half. Hanen rolls in 12. Nice shot. She has 9. Look at this pressure.
It's that full court pressure. Even though they're not necessarily forcing turnovers and steals, what it is flustering Southwest Missouri just enough so, again, like I said, they think they're getting transition baskets and really they aren't. Here they're finally showing a little bit of offense, which they needed.
Mitchum thought again about the 3. Shot clock down to 9. Stiles trying to get free. Cronin with the contact. That was nice.
That might be the shot that she needed.
Finally, Jackie Stiles really creating room on her own. And boy, she's really sweating tonight.
Well, yeah, you got to credit the defense, Colorado State. That's Manning on her this time. Johnson gets a break. Beautiful backdoor, and the feed from the top from Mitchum was very nice, too, to get it in there.
Katie Cronin just a little bit too late. She picked up her second foul. Stiles back to the line. And she misses the free throw. Rebound battled for and taken by Cronin.
McDowell just a little bit too soft in there. She's got to learn how to hold on to the ball.
It took 15 minutes for Jackie Stiles to get her first field goal. And she's still working against Hammon.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they think that's going to keep her momentum up. I'm not. Or who else, I guess, on the team really could defend Hammon?
Well, no one.
So there's our answer.
Double team underneath. Shot clock to 3. Hammon has to shoot.
She took some extra steps there.
Misses. Shannon Randolph loses the ball, but Colorado State will keep it. I actually asked Becky Hammon if she'd ever played one-on-one against Jackie Stiles, and she said no. I said, who would win? And Becky said, well, let me just say this. She couldn't stop me, and I couldn't stop her.
All right.
Which is very diplomatic and true. That would be fun to see them go against each other. They do know each other from national team trials.
Well, I can tell you right now who's winning.
It's 11 to 6.
It's a Becky Hammon thing right now.
And more importantly, a 12-point lead for Colorado State.
That's right.
The officials wanting to know if they should reset the shot clock go with the complete 30, and they will. Let's take a look at what the 2 superstars have done. Talked about the complete game at the top about Becky, and the numbers bear it out.
Had an interesting conversation with one of our wonderful analysts earlier, Mimi Griffin, who we were just kind of talking about the difference. That there's so many similarities between Hammon and Stiles, but in my estimation, Stiles probably the more offensive player, but the complete package, as I keep going to, is Becky Hammon. And you got to remember, they're still 2 years different. Stiles just a sophomore, and Hammon a senior leader that's had that experience and that kind of knows what it takes on all ends of the floor.
Discussions continue about the clock. Mimi Griffin, Tom Collin, actually, the head coach for Colorado State, came over to us before the game and said, is Mimi still dogging us? We're going to lose tonight?
And, of course, I stood up for her and said, no, she gave you something to talk about to motivate your kids in the locker room. That's what she did. It's all the way you look at it.
And it's not just Mimi. A lot of people thinking that Colorado State, with their number 2 seed, was inflated, particularly after seeing them struggle the other night against Cal State Northridge.
And let me say something about that. For all the Cal State Northridge fans and the players that might be watching at this time, they have nothing to hang their head about. they were the ones that were underestimated, to be honest, because they came in here and played like, look, we are in this thing to win it. And so I don't think that's anything necessarily against Colorado State. I just think Cal State Northridge really was that good.
The shot clock, after much discussion, set at 19, not 30. That's what took so long. And now Singer is guarding Becky Hammon because Jackie Stiles is back on the bench. There's a turnover. So without Stiles, the offense becomes much different.
Yeah, it is a different look. And you'll see them slow it down probably. And really, again, they've got to get that ball inside.
They're looking inside. McDill and Randall's all over Rashonda Reed, who's called for the 3-second violation.
She is down there working so hard, Rashonda Reed. She wants that ball in the post, and she's so devastating down there. But you got to credit Colorado State. They're doing an incredible job. They're locking her up. Every time she even thinks the ball comes ball side, she gets a double team.
8 turnovers against Southwest Missouri State. Sarah Singer now with the enviable position, right, of guarding Hammond, who loses her briefly. Hanen for 3. That's off the mark. And a foul is called underneath against Melody Campbell, a little bit too much on Roxanne Manning.
They're trying so hard right now. I still think that Southwest Missouri is playing a little bit out of sync.
Just have not really gotten any sort of a rhythm. This is a team that under Cheryl Burnett, the textbook on them for years and years has been they love to run, they love to press. They have not pressed so much this year, she says, because she just doesn't think she has the personnel to do it. They're more of a half-court offensive team. And again, without Jackie when they're on the half-court, they're sort of lost.
Yeah. I think sitting Jackie gives her the opportunity to kind of look at the game. When you're in the game sometimes and you have the burden on your shoulder of, hey, you need to score because you're such a key part of our offense, that can be frustrating when you sit down for a little while, get to watch the game, see where you can pick your places, where you can shoot the gaps in the offense. That helps a lot.
Roxanne Manning misses both free throws. She's only a 67% free throw shooter. Southwest Missouri State coming back. Reed, Mitchell, McDowell, Singer, and Melody Campbell on the court for them as Cheryl Burnett tries to find a combination that will click.
Look at Reed from side to side, waiting.
Colorado State playing that collapsing zone. Reed double-teamed, misses again, but Campbell gets it with a fresh 30. They're working on that 2-3 zone offense, or zone defense in shoot-around today, working on the traps, particularly against Stiles.
Right.
Good defense underneath as McDill collapses on McDowell, and there's another turnover.
Yeah, 3 yellow shirts immediately when the ball came into the post. 3 yellow shirts around it.
9 turnovers. Cheryl Burnett trying to get her team fired up. They're trailing by 12.
Being 40 or 50 isn't what it used to be. As you continue to change, so can your life insurance needs. To help make sure your life insurance plan reflects where your life is headed, just call your State Farm agent. State Farm understands life.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use turf builder plus halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I used the cheaper brands, but I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Luby Lawn. I'm very proud of the results that I get from Scott's. And there will be no crabgrass.
Job is to compare products. And it's not often that even the expensive prescription works better. You may never see flakes again. I don't.
Colorado State with that 12-point lead over Southwest Missouri State. A lot to be happy about for people in Springfield, Missouri. Not the snowstorm that they got the last couple of days, but both their teams still in the tournament.
That ought to heat up the snow a little bit.
Southwest Missouri State men with a big 30-point win over Tennessee earlier today. The UConn women barely surviving. Man,
what a great game.
Melanie Balcom, Xavier Musketeers.
Xavier did a great job.
Coming up with a great effort. Connecticut advances in their region. Colorado State trying to advance here. Hammond.
Did you see the ball? There were 2 things that happened here. First, the ball handling clinic And then the shooting clinic followed shortly afterwards.
Becky Hammon has 14 points. And she really needs no time to get that off. She's 2 for 4 from three-point range.
Styles is still out of the game. That's an interesting coaching decision.
Now, she does have 2 fouls. Maybe that has something to do with it. You certainly don't want her to pick up 3.
Before locker room time.
But Becky Hammon, after a slow start, is heating it up.
Watch this. This is the crossover, the behind the back. Crossover again, and now I'm finished with the clinic for dribbling, and I'm going into the three-point shot. Beautiful.
That shot taken and missed. Rashonda Reed with the rebound. She has yet to get it going. Rashonda only with 4 points. Working against that Colorado State zone. They prefer to play man-to-man, but the zone has been a dream for them tonight, definitely. Shot clock down to 13. Campbell to Mitchell, who loses it out of bounds. And they're just not throwing.
Cheryl Burnett trying to find the right combination right now. She's bringing in all kinds of folks off the bench, just trying to see if she can get a feel for everything. Now Brandy Robinson even checks into the game. She's seen increased playing time over the last few games. Very athletic. Maybe she'll bring some help to the Southwest Missouri team.
Considered more of a defensive threat than an offensive threat. Little sister Crystal Robinson, a very good basketball player in her own right. Robinson there gets called for the foul right away, holding Hainan underneath. Lots of women's basketball yet to come here on ESPN and ESPN2 as we get ready for the Final Four. Kansas and Purdue will be taking on each other at 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night in the Midwest region. Follow that with Summer Irv and Company taking on Texas Tech. Then on ESPN tomorrow, Boston College against Tennessee at 9:30 Eastern, and out west, UCLA, Lana Mayton and Company. Watch it on ESPN and ESPN2. Hainan hits that free throw.
Summer Irv had a big night the other night. I think she had like 34 points.
Big kid from NC State can get it done, and Jackie Stiles is back in this basketball game. Hainan broke down. Heather has 11, and the lead is an incredible 17. We could not have anticipated this.
Jackie Stiles, one good thing too is she's very, very confident with her dribble as well. She really can be a one-person press breaker. As you see, it was a little different before she got in the game. Their press breaker was a little different. When Stiles got in the game, they cleared out. Just let her do her thing, and automatically she draws the foul because she's very quick. A track star by right.
Claire McDill has 2 fouls. The double bonus for both teams. Stiles hits her first. Jackie Stiles, in addition to being a heck of a high school basketball player, she averaged over 46 points a game and then won 14 gold medals as a track star.
Can you imagine coming out almost every contest in high school and guaranteed 40-plus points per game? Incredible.
Very heavily recruited she was, Jackie Stiles, choosing Southwest Missouri State, surprising some people, saying no to people like Tennessee and Connecticut to come to Springfield.
Right. You've got an interesting recruiting story, too.
15-point lead for the Rams. Good D. Reed and Deere. And here's Stiles. Over Manning.
Nice.
And finally, they get something off that pressure.
She's got a lot of poise in the air. The ability to stop, pop, turn her body, and really, really.
Jackie Stiles with 10 points, but it all started with the D.
Good defense here. And here's the drive. Again, she stops, she squares up, she's got great jumping ability, and again, she's exceptionally quick.
And stay with us through the half as Mimi, Rebecca, and Robin will talk about UConn escaping by the skin of their teeth. Tech, the #1 seed in the West, rolling. And we'll talk about the regional qualifiers as we all get set for the Sweet 16. That's coming up on the halftime report. Colorado State up by 13 here. In Fort Collins, Colorado, Pam Ward along with Bureau Jones. Southwest Missouri has been to 2 other Sweet 16s, trying to go back, but they're going to need a big comeback to get there. Good defense by Rashonda Reed. Hammon gets it. Randall's 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
They're going to call the travel.
And in the last couple of times down the court, we have seen rejuvenation, certainly from Southwest Missouri.
Right.
9 turnovers now, and here's some pressure. Again in the backcourt from Colorado State. Can Styles break it?
Again, the one-person press breaker.
Yeah. And you saw
Everyone
what they
just
did.
clears out.
Right, they cleared out. They said, forget about the traffic. We're going to just play half-court defense.
Yeah, it was almost like, uh-oh, Styles has got it. Let's head back.
Styles over Rashonda Reed, who set the nice screen for her. Styles working free. She has 12 points.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's an 11-point basketball game.
It's about time for her to come alive. Maybe that was a really good coaching decision to set her down for a little while, let her get a feel for the game.
But with 2 fouls, she's guarding Becky Hammon, who just takes her to the cleaners.
I was about to say, the one thing she didn't learn was how to stop Becky Hammon just yet. And boy, she turns around in a rush and picks up a charging foul.
16 points for Becky Hammon. And look at Jackie Styles go over to Cheryl Burnett and say, don't take me out. Wow. Let's take a look at this 3rd foul.
Yeah. The rule is that she has to have that step to come down. Let's see if she gives it to her. Well, she had her step to come down.
Great play by Becky Hammon,
that was good
using her head
defense.
again. And that was interesting. We saw Styles go over, tap her coach on the back, say, don't take me out. And she did take her out. In the last 30 seconds of this first half, it's about a 1-second difference on the shot clock against the game clock, maybe a little less. Hammond wants to hold it for 1.
And I'm going to guess she might be the one. And if she's not, she's certainly going to create.
Foul is called. Melody Campbell was guarding her on that possession. Look at Campbell, me. Campbell going to be called for running into Shannon Randall's. Or vice versa, we'll go the other way. Randall's called for running in.
Randall's, yeah.
And let's take a look.
Well, there's a screen, and then she moves. And she just totally moves. And he gets a bear hug in the process.
So that foul was against Melody Campbell.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting because she definitely, boy, it was a moving screen for sure. But I think the bear hug was a little more blatant than the moving screen, so that's what they called.
7 points, 5 rebounds off the bench for Shannon, who broke both of her wrists earlier in the season. Great comeback that she's even out there. Erickson can't hold on, but Colorado State with 7.4 seconds left. We got another chance. And look who's coming in. Let's see. Let's put Becky back in. What do you think? You need some offense. Hammond comes right back into the game.
Yeah.
She only has 1 foul and 16 points.
Because momentum is key going into that locker room. And if they score here and get that big momentum and that fabulous roar from the crowd, forget about it! That's what I'm talking about. The roar of the fans into the locker room.
Heather Hayden has 14 points at the break as the Rams have been ramming Southwest Missouri State up 45-28.
That's just smart. That's so smart from Coach Tom Collins. Look at this beautiful three from the parking lot. That one was from Denver. We're in Fort Collins.
From about 55 miles away, Hayden nails the 3. Stay tuned as Robin, Mimi, and Rebecca come up with halftime after a short break. Wow.
ESPN. NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Monitor.
Randall, it is highly unlikely that she will play in that game against BC.
And Robin, even if she was able to play, you have to wonder about her lateral movement with that kind of an injury to your ankle. That's where it hurts you the most, going side to side. And Samika's big thing is her defense, and you have to be able to go laterally to play good defense.
Again, in case you weren't here, Samika Randall severely spraining her ankle last night. And again, highly unlikely that she will play against Boston College. Now, what do you see in this Colorado State Southwest Missouri State game?
Well, I saw Colorado State looking like a very different team than we saw the other night on Friday. Offensively, they're attacking. They have a lot of weapons coming out and playing well. Defensively, their 2-3 matchup zone is really giving them problems. And to stop Skiles, they're doing a great job.
Yeah. You know what? The conversation I had with Vera this afternoon, Vera said that Becky Hammon was the total package, and she was absolutely right. Becky, even though she wasn't scoring this first half, she was dishing off. She was doing a lot of other things.
Right. I love that move to the right that she does. Takes that nice, long second step. You'll see more of Becky Hammon and Jackie Styles in the second half. Come on back, everyone. Again, Colorado State up by 17.
I'm here with an exciting medical announcement. Doctors have learned that Monistat 1 keeps working for days to cure a yeast infection. Monistat 1 dose, from the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
45-28 lead for Colorado State at the half in the second-round game of the West Region. And so far, it's been Becky Hammon and more Becky Hammon.
They used several defenders to try to see if they could stop her, but it was just pretty much just useless. Here she is versus Qua with the over-the-top. Beautiful assist inside to Cronin. Of course, Cronin on the reverse. And look at this, the pass inside, fading off the glass, right jumper. And then the stutter step crossover three-pointer to the chagrin of Jackie Stiles' ankle. It's been the Becky Hammon show all the way.
16 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds for the senior from Rapid City, South Dakota. And she's getting some Lady Bears in foul trouble. Jackie Stiles and Yen Kwa each with 3 fouls. Carly Deer has 2. Colorado State give it right to Becky Hammon.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she's human. She misses there on the air ball.
That just, again, it speaks to how humble she is. She heard us, talking about her, and she wanted to say, hey, calm down. I'm not perfect. Here's an air ball for you.
Her team comes out pressure right away, and Hammon forces the turnover. Doing it again. 13 turnovers now for the Lady Bears as you take a look, and the most encouraging thing has to be that first statistic, 54% for Colorado State.
Coach Tom Collin has to be absolutely excited. Shooting has hurt them over the last few games. They've barely gotten wins with the poor shooting they've had, and yes, 54% is excellent for anybody's team.
23% over the last 2 games is what they've been hitting, as Hammon misses on that one. 29% shooting before today, the last 2 games.
One of the things I wanted to mention, too, about other players stepping up, Hammon came out on fire with 7 quick points, and right at the end of the game, that was her beautiful 3 going into the locker room. She's definitely having a great night.
Jackie Stiles starting the second half with 3 fouls. She's out there with Carly Deer, Kimberly McDowell, Rashonda Reed, and Sarah Singer, and that was Carly Deer.
I love her name.
And Carly Deer gets her first 2 points. She only averages 4 points a game, but has come up with some big baskets, including the one that was the game winner in that 2-point win over Santa Barbara. Oh, the alley-oop. First round, Katie Cronin with the bucket. Becky Hammon, another assist.
More of the alley-oops over the defense, because, oops, they got caught sleeping. They got beat once on that in the first half.
7 assists for Becky Hammon as McDowell converts on the other end for Southwest Missouri State. Kimberly has 6.
McDowell needs to get more aggressive on the inside. The other thing that really hurt them was really no inside game for Southwest Missouri.
Hammon left all alone. McDill chases it down. Hammon now for 3. Unbelievable. In and out, and McDill going to be called for the foul. Sarah McDill has 3 fouls for the sophomore from Gillette, Wyoming. Grew up about 4 hours north of Fort Collins. And the assists just keep on coming for Becky Hammon.
Poor defense. Again, that's a great look over the defense, over 2 defenders that left Cronin all alone down there on the block. That cannot happen again. She beat them with it in the first half. She comes back out in the second half, and Hammon finds Cronin again. They're best friends. They look for each other on the court. It's a beautiful thing.
Sarah McDill sits down with 3 fouls. Shannon Randalls has checked in to replace her. Colorado State playing that 2-3 matchup zone for much of the first half, now in a more traditional man-to-man. That shot is missed by Singer. Battle for the rebound. Hammon again. Really, just a nose for the basketball. It comes back to the Rams. 2 of the best guards in the country. Jackie Stiles, the second leading scorer in the entire nation. She's got her points, but Becky Hammon is doing it in all facets.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about again. And some of that is her senior leadership and her experience. She doesn't want to play her last game. Stiles has 2 more years to be an All-American. Becky Hammon, if they lose this one, she's out.
Hammon throws a pass that Randalls can't control. That's 10 turnovers now. For Colorado State, good look there at Jackie Stiles, a 5'8 sophomore from Claflin, Kansas. Recruited by everybody and his uncle and aunt and nephew.
And cousin Gertrude. You got it right.
They're going to need a big second half from Jackie to get things going. Manning is all over her. Almost like a box-and-one defense now. As McDowell gets tied up nicely underneath, and look who did it.
And again, McDowell doesn't really have the strength. She could be so much more powerful on the inside, but when she gets the ball, she's really, really a little bit weak. She holds on to the ball here, but she does one of the cardinal sins. She brings the ball down. Becky Hammon was waiting for that. And again, she just couldn't hold on. She's really going to have to build that upper body strength to be a more effective post player.
There she goes in. That's effective. That's kept the ball up high and put it right.
Kept it up high, and that's exactly where she's gotten. She's got to focus on doing that.
8 points for Kimberly McDowell. Southwest Missouri down by 13. Inside, Hammon can't get it. Good defensive play down low by Carly Deere. Tom Collin, the head coach here, he recruited, one of the many who recruited Jackie Stiles back when he was an assistant at Arkansas.
Interestingly enough, his assistant, Kurt Miller, also recruited her when he was at Syracuse University. He's got a great story to tell.
Cassandra Reed can't get it going, and she misses, and then she fouls Roxanne Manning rather hard. Certainly not intentional, but a hard foul just the same.
She held on. She gets back up smiling. Manning's a real warrior.
She certainly is, as is Rashonda Reed, called the cornerstone of this team by her head coach, Cheryl Burnett. One foul on Roe Reed as she missed the basket, and then just a lot of contact.
Yeah, she was just kind of looking. Her hand got hung up, and Manning was in the air, but she's okay.
Manning just sort of flew into her, which is kind of a painful thing because Reed is put together, a lot bigger than Manning. Southwest Missouri State playing a man-to-man. 13-point lead, and the winner will go to Los Angeles.
Wow.
Hammon inside, and she's going to be called, or actually she drew the foul.
This time it was Mitchell trying to defend Hammon. Hammon went to the weak side, really, her left side. And just, she ends up, by the time she starts off with one defender, when she's done, she's got three, and usually either a basket or a foul. Look at this, 3 shirts. She still finds a way to get through.
Just a little bit of a screen there set by Shannon Randalls, and it got Becky free. That's the 3rd foul on Carly Deere, so 3 Lady Bears have 3 fouls apiece as Hammon knocks down her first point of the second half, and Jackie Stiles is back in. She, unfortunately for Southwest Missouri, is one of the 3 with 3 fouls.
Jackie Stiles, again, we talked about how they played last summer together. They played with each other and against each other, Hammon and Stiles. And of course, Hammon went on to make the Jones Cup team. Stiles made the select team. But they have a great deal of respect and admiration for each other. And that's great. That's what basketball is all about, that respect.
Southwest Missouri with the ball and a foul as Roxanne Manning does it again, and Yen Kwa has 4 fouls.
I think Yen Kwa's played 4. Every minute she gets in, she's in foul trouble. She's played maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And again, she's got back into the game with 3, and now she's going to have to come out again.
She had 3 fouls in 2 minutes in the first half, and she just picked up her 4th one after being in for about maybe 30 seconds. So she goes down. Here goes Sarah Singer back. And Roxanne Manning gets a nice hand as she goes to the bench. Jackie Johnson comes back in for Colorado State.
Sarah Singer hopefully is going to bring some defense. She's a co-captain, and she's second on the team in steals.
And she almost picked Hammon. In fact, forced that loose ball. The held ball, the alternate possession will keep it Colorado State's way. But right away, you mentioned Singer's defense, and she put it on there. Singer with no personal fouls. How about putting her on him, for now?
They tried it a little earlier, and I can tell you right now, it just didn't work. And I'm not trying to preach gloom and doom, but she's got a tough assignment if she wants to stick Hammon. This is the toughest assignment she'll probably ever have.
Very difficult to go one-on-one, man-on-man against Becky.
Unreal. You see what I'm saying? Tough assignment. She just creates, and Johnson gets to be the recipient of all that flash on the inside that Hammon created.
One of the things that Cheryl Burnett wanted to stop was the dribble penetration of people like Becky Hammon. And how do you stop that? They're sort of reaching out and breaking her leg.
Every person out there that ever wanted to look at the ball handle, Clint. She's such poise. The behind the back is like her specialty, and then she dips in again, pass out, and Cronin finds Johnson, who is just sitting and waiting, going, please pass it to me. I want to hit a 3.
And she does nail the 3. Johnson has 6 points on 2 3-pointers, and Becky Hammon, playing her last game here at Moby Arena, is doing it. Look at the 7 threes, again, averaging no fouls. How about putting her on him, for now?
They tried it a little earlier, and I can tell you right now, it just didn't work. And I'm not trying to preach gloom and doom, but she's got a tough assignment if she wants to stick Hammon. This is the toughest assignment she'll probably ever have.
Very difficult to go one-on-one, man-on-man against Becky.
Unreal. Unreal. You see what I'm saying? Tough assignment. She just creates, and Johnson gets to be the recipient of all that flash on the inside that Hammon created.
One of the things that Cheryl Burnett wanted to stop was the dribble penetration of people like Becky Hammon. And how do you stop that? You're short of reaching out and breaking her leg.
Every person out there that ever wanted to look at the ball handle play, she's such poise. The behind the back is like her specialty, and then she dips in again to pass out. And Cronin finds Johnson, who was just sitting and waiting, going, please, please pass it to me. I want to hit a three.
And she does nail the three. Johnson has 6 points on 2 3-pointers. And Becky Hammon, playing her last game here at Moby Arena, is doing it. Look at the 7 threes, again, averaging just under 8. That leads the NCAA coming in.
Right.
This team had taken 738 three-point shots.
Absolutely incredible.
And had made 270. That's one more than Southwest Missouri State had attempted. And they're a team that likes to jack it up.
Right.
Mitchum with the penetration. Randalls can't hold. And again, you see McDowell unable to hold on to the basketball. Hammon working on Styles. Leaves Randall open. McDowell is just getting hounded on another held ball. The alternate possession will give it back to Southwest Missouri. But Colorado State is just hawking the ball. Cheryl Burnett's team trailing 52-34 as Becky Hammon's crew continues to battle and try to get to Los Angeles.
Remember life in the fast lane?
I do.
First you meet, then you get married, and things slow down.
Yeah, right.
To help you keep up, drive the...
Colorado State with an 18-point lead over Southwest Missouri State. Second-round action in the West region. A couple of teams with some history. Southwest Missouri State making a Final Four back in 1992. 1 year later, their Sweet 16 appearance. The last time they've been, Colorado State has never been there. This is the third NCAA tournament appearance for Colorado State. They lost in the second round last year to Purdue, in the second round in '96 to Stanford. And now they're trying to make that one big step to the Sweet 16. One more along with Vera Jones. Sold out Moby Arena in Fort Collins, Colorado.
They're getting some offense now. This is a better look for them.
Jackie Johnson goes down, holding her right ankle. Meanwhile, a foul is called against Becky Hammon.
McDowell got locked up down in the post, but at least that's where they want to get the ball. They need to get the ball into the post. If they want to open up that outside so Jackie Styles can even have half a chance in this game, they're definitely going to have, well, there's the foul, by the way.
That's Johnson there, just turning her ankle as she was backpedaling. It didn't look too bad. Let's hope that it isn't, but she's going to take a rest.
McDowell got locked up down in the post, but at least that's where they want to get the ball. They need to get the ball into the post. If they want to open up that outside so Jackie Styles can even have half a chance in this game, they're definitely going to have, well, there's the foul, by the way.
That's Johnson there, just turning her ankle as she was backpedaling. It didn't look too bad. Let's hope that it isn't, but she's going to take a rest, as is Heather Hainan.
Jackie Johnson also struggles with asthma, so she usually only plays in spurts here and there.
She actually played 7 minutes in a row in the game on Friday night, which is at first. Actually, the high altitude we hear helps her asthma. Styles misses the three. Cronin gets fouled as she gets the rebound. Rashonda Reed, only 4 points for Rashonda. She averages 15 and a half. That's her second foul. We talked early about how Reed would have to assert herself, and so far she's not done it.
No, she's struggling. She's about 2 for 8, 2 for 9, actually. And a couple of things wrong. First of all, they didn't get the ball in the post where she was comfortable, so she could go to work. And second of all, the opportunity she did take just wasn't good.
Oh, Hammon almost another assist, but Randalls can't convert. 0 for 5 is Southwest Missouri from long range. Colorado State 7 of 16. There's Reed
That's the look inside.
Oh, that's a nice move to get around for him.
And that's what they needed in the first half, but they just weren't getting the ball in the post, so she ended up taking a lot of garbage shots, that 4 shots off of transition.
Making 6 points now for Reed. Southwest Missouri State staying in the man-to-man. Singer shutting down Hammon, at least scoring-wise in the second half. She only has 4 points in the second half, with 2 points. And Hammon, as she dribbles around, pulls up after a foul is called. Women's soccer coming your way on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC Sports as Women's World Cup 9. ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. 5 team fouls against the Lady Bears already, just 2 against Colorado State, who have a huge 16-point lead. Playing on their home floor where they have not lost since January of 1998.
Offense starting to look a little stagnant now, even for Colorado State.
Cronin misses the long 3. Rebound taken down by Tara Mitchell. State is back, no break. Here's Reed, double team. And that left Deer open, but she misses.
Looking a little winded, kind of taking their time going down the court, Southwest Missouri State.
A lot of people will tell you that the altitude does not affect them.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of catches up with you. That was one of the problems I think Northridge had the other night. Shonda Reed with 3 fouls. And watch Becky Hammon. You think she wants the ball?
I think so. Come on!
Man,
oh, well.
I'm an All-American. Give me the basketball. She's going to make every All-American team, everything team.
I think she already has, to be honest.
Yeah, she is a finalist, of course, for Kodak All-American team, which will be announced at the Final
Right, that's
Four.
coming up with the Final
So I think she's got a pretty
Sports Illustrated All-American, top 10 Naismith finalist.
AP All-American just announced.
Right.
She's doing all right. And her team is doing just fine, up by 16.
She's also got the WAC record in scoring. I think it was Keith Benson, right?
She's the all-time leader, men or women, in the WAC conference.
2,689 points coming into this game. And that was all in one season. I'm only kidding.
It just seems like, seems like all in one game if you're a Southwest fan.
Yeah.
McGill on the floor, and a foul is going to be called against Ann Cavey, who can't believe it. Cheryl Burnett trying to keep her team in. Cheryl Burnett wearing that brown pantsuit, which we saw on Friday night.
We saw, right, and she made it very clear, I've got plenty of clothes, and you can tell that she's quite a stylish lady. However, that's supposed to be her lucky suit. I went over and I had to confirm whether or not that brown suit was indeed her lucky suit, and she said it was. The last one she wore, they lost in the semifinals, I believe, of the Valley Conference.
And that suit has probably been turned to ash right. Springfield, Missouri.
That suit's gone back to the Salvation Army.
And this suit is on life support right now.
Yeah, just barely hanging on.
McGill makes 1 of 2. And another problem for the Lady Bears, they already have 17 fouls, so Colorado State will be in the bonus for the rest of this basketball game. Another foul called behind the play. This one against the Rams, against Katie Cronin. She has 3.
I'm going to tell you this much. If I were a betting person, I certainly wouldn't be betting against Southwest Missouri getting back into this. They need to get an offense going. They have not been able to because of Styles, but they have the ability to come back from a deficit with plays like that.
Nice inside to Ann Cavey. And speaking of Jackie Styles, she is on the bench right now, along with Shonda Reed. Their 2 leading scorers on the bench, spectating, watching their team try to get back in this. Inside, Hammon with a nice catch. And a foul is called underneath as she was pounded. Lady Bears, nice ball movement, even with their 2 big guns on the bench.
Right, and again, something that they needed. It's teamwork. This is great team passing. This is a beautiful fast break. They need a few more of those transition baskets, and when they don't have the transition, they need not to force it. They need to go ahead, work the offense, get it in the read. Cavey's in the game now. Work the post players a little bit.
That foul was on Brandy Robinson. She has 2. Brandy had 3 fouls in 1 minute on Friday. And she's already got a couple here tonight. Heather Hanen, 15 points, including that incredible 3-pointer at the end of the first half with 16 points.
And I told you that was deadly. You want to be the team with the momentum going into the locker room. It does so much for the psyche.
Roxanne Manning getting a nice round of applause as she takes a breather. And Colorado State continuing to put on the pressure. Qual breaks it, though. 2-on-1. Over to Cavey, who blows the layup. But Fear is there. And boy, Farrah McGill thought she had herself a block. Instead, she has herself her 4th foul.
She's a fun person. She's got to be it's her sister at Nebraska, I think we talked about earlier, too.
Yeah, Corey McDill?
Yeah, Corey McDill. That's her 4th foul. She just picked up here. Oh, actually, she goes for the block. And she thought she got all ball. She was pretty upset about it.
Deere misses the first free throw. Corey McDill's Nebraska team leading for the lion's share of their game against Kentucky yesterday, but the Wildcats came back to win that. Both teams scoring in the 90s in that game. So Kentucky advances.
Southwest Missouri State, don't get me wrong, no slouch. How about them scoring 120 points earlier in the NIT preseason tournament? 120 to something over there.
They certainly have the capability, as you said here, to get back in this game quickly. Robinson misses. Ball ping-ponged out to Qual, who walks. Good call. And she tried to gain composure, but not before she took a couple of steps. Southwest Missouri State, the regular season champion in the Missouri Valley Conference. They got an at-large bid, though, because they lost in the semifinals to Evansville, and that's why Coach Burnett got rid of that suit. They best finished the 92 Final Four when they went in and lost in the national semifinal. Here's that Springfield, Missouri, where Southwest is located, had over a foot of snow. So the folks are snowbound watching ESPN2, cheering for their team to get back in. But you got to stop people like Angie Gorton, who gets her first bucket.
How about that for team effort? I think we've seen just about every player on Colorado State that has gotten into this game has gotten a point on the board.
Now, Southwest Missouri State averaging about 78 points a game. They've only been able to put up 38 so far in this one. Becky Hammon picking up that foul. Becky has 3, only 2 points here in the second half, so they've done a pretty good job of shutting down the superstar, but she's still dishing it out. She's still playing defense, and she's still helping her team to this big lead. And Cavey to the free throw line. Only 5 team fouls against the Rams.
So she's got a 5 to 10 chance of making these. She's only 50% on the year. She's played every game since this season, and actually she's the most accurate field goal shooter on the team. She's got better field goal shooting percentage than she does free throws. She shoots 56% from the floor.
That's not good, particularly for a post player who's going to get hacked and go to the line often. And she does make her average 1 of 2.
That's right.
And Cavey has 5 points. Jackie Stiles has yet to score here in the second half. We'll be back. Has lost only 2 games all season. Lost to Cal in December and then lost in the WAC final to SMU. Second undefeated team in WAC history. And they had some very impressive wins, actually 9-1 against NCAA tournament teams going into this tournament. Tom Collins Club beating Oregon, Florida, Rutgers, Santa Clara, Arizona, Wisconsin, Green Bay, and 2-1 against SMU. A lot of people sort of surprised maybe about number 2 seed, but that's very impressive. Some huge wins, especially early in the season for this team.
And he'll definitely get a chance to go on and prove it as he gets past this round today. Just to prove one more step how much they belong here.
The winner of this game will play the winner of UCLA and Kentucky. That game will also be on tomorrow night. Randalls misses the bunny inside. Qua gets fouled as she gets the rebound. Let's take a look at this Western bracket. Southwest Missouri State, Colorado State going at it right now. Tomorrow, midnight Eastern time, Kentucky and UCLA playing in the only pavilion. UCLA, the number 3 seed in this, and they won't have to leave home if they win beat Kentucky, then they go right to the LA Sports Arena.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage for them. And I say Tracy Chapman and company. I'm not actually talking about Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Yeah.
A big, effective center for them. They have a lot of talent on that team, and we will be there, Vera and I, for the West region, and we look forward to that. And Colorado State right now looking in pretty good shape to get there. As Jackie Stiles has yet to score in the second half, she only has 12 points, averaging over 25 and a half a game. Second in the country to Memphis's Tamika Whitmore. Her team's still in the postseason playing in the NIT. They play Tennessee Martin next, so it will be a battle to see who ends up as the leading scorer. Johnson with the wild shot. Rashonda Reed with the rebound. SMS breaks. Stiles wants it. Stiles gets it. And she gets blocked by Jackie Johnson.
She goes against the floor hard, though. That was great defense from Johnson. Jackie Stiles hit hard. She's on the break. Look at Reed demonstrating a little point guard ability, but this is beautiful from Johnson from behind. All ball. Jackie Stiles is definitely about to go into one of her moves.
Great play by Johnson. Stiles did go down hard.
Stiles is such a workhorse. We were talking about that recruiting effort, and according to Kurt Miller,
Reed gets her 8 point.
Kurt Miller, the assistant coach for Colorado State, he was talking about how everybody in the country had recruited her. At the time, he was at Syracuse University, and he went in and signed this doll. She had every coach that came to her house sign a doll, and he tried to scribble his real big next to Gino Auriemma and Coach Joe Ciampi, right? Try to write nice and big. And of course, he didn't get it. And he didn't get her. And now he's on the bench opposing her. Right now, didn't matter how big he signed. It looks like he's on the winning end after all.
A lot of coaches signed that doll. Only one got her, and that's Cheryl Burnett. But right now, the Lady Bears up against it. The crowd gets back into it. Qua misses. Cronin, board. And the Rams just keep pushing it up the court. Johnson shoots off the dribble. Robinson pulling down the board. 16-point lead, and that's thrown away. Carly Deer can't find Jackie Stiles. The NIT continues on ESPN. Tomorrow night's second-round action as Princeton takes on the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Check it out, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. Southwest Missouri State 0 for 8 from three-point range, and this is a team that hits on average 37% of them, and Jackie Stiles again sits down as she has a discussion with Karen Rapier, one of the assistants for the Lady Bears, who get the ball back. Qua, can she beat Hammon? No!
And she adds shot blocking to her long resume. I have to admit, that's one I hadn't seen yet. Any moment she's going to break out, you know, like Windex and do windows or something, I'm sure.
Kareem Abdul-Hammond. Wow, look at that. Colorado State in that 2-3 matchup. Reed gets behind everybody. Picks up 10 points, 6 of them here in the second half.
Silences the crowd just a little bit.
And the lead is down to only 14. It was 45-28 at the half, so Southwest taking a little bit of a chip out of this lead.
This could be a big basket. They get something on the break.
Working against the much taller Borton, really had no shot. But Deer gets the rebound, kicks it out smartly to Reed, and they'll set up. Deer sneaks around Hammond and gets the bucket.
Very nice from Carly Deer.
So the Lady Bears out of their hibernation right now, only down by 12.
Yeah.
And Tom Collin wants to talk about it. And keep in mind, they made this little run with Jackie Stiles on the bench, which has to give them some confidence.
They needed this. Carly Deer, again, they've got quite a few capable players. This is a nice baseline run from Carly Deer.
A 7-0 run for Southwest Missouri State has put them to within a dozen. We'll be back with more from Colorado. Now on a 9-0 run, Rashonda Reed with that quick bucket. Becky Hammon answers as Colorado State goes back to that 12-point lead. Hammon has 20 points, only 4 of them, though, in the second half. And Cheryl Burnett calls a quick timeout, rather curious, a timeout called by Tom Collin right before that, an immediate timeout due as soon as we got down below his 8-minute mark. So Rashonda Reed starting to get it done down low. We had talked about that as she had 4 at the break, has 8 second-half points, and she's been doing it. Becky Hammon's been doing it all night long.
Yeah, well, here she is on a drive. It's just, you know, after a while it gets to be exhausting. You know, how much more can you say about her? She's a team leader beyond compare.
Now, Jackie Stiles is the star for Southwest Missouri State. Becky Hammon
still
winning in the point battle and also piling up the assists as well as the rebounds, playing stellar defense as well. and really putting on a show. She's a senior.
Yeah.
This is the last game she'll ever play in this arena.
Styles still struggling with only 12 points again, and she's held on to that 12 points. But I don't think she's scored in the second half, really.
Doubleheader, part of ESPN and ESPN2's exclusive national coverage of this women's NCAA tournament. Check us out tomorrow on ESPN2 as Kansas tries to upset top seed Purdue in the Midwest. That's at 7:30 Eastern Time. Follow that in Lubbock, Texas. Angie Brazil and company taking on NC State. And then on ESPN tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, Boston College against Tennessee. Samika Randall doubtful with a sprained ankle. And that is Kentucky and UCLA at midnight Eastern. The winner of that game plays the winner of our game. Lots of basketball coming your way tomorrow. Check out ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com for lots more information on this women's basketball tournament. Mimi Griffin with a column, comments all the time as we have the best coverage of this tournament you can find on the internet and certainly on ESPN and ESPN2. Colorado State trying to avoid its third loss in 2 years in this building. And some of those early wins we talked about came in the women's NIT year. They beat Florida and Oregon here and have just steamrolled through the WAC. They were 14-0 during the regular season before losing in the WAC tournament final to SMU, who came up with the win in the NCAA tournament. So a big win there for another WAC basketball team. Defense is the cry here at Moby Arena with 8 minutes solid left to go. The Bears, the Lady Bears, can cut this lead to 10.
Styles forcing Manning to work. They're running her off the screens. Manning's doing a good job over there on the weak side, making sure that ball does not come back to Jackie Styles.
She holds Styles out in front. That is not the call, though. Jackie Styles has no points in the second half, only 12 for the game, as Cronin is called for her 4th foul. So Farrah McDill and Katie Cronin both with 4. Becky Hammon playing with 3.
Now, see, here's where it gets critical, because you start to take Katie Cronin, even though there's been some other players that have stepped up. Katie Cronin goes out. She, again, is a real emotional spark for the team. They lose her. They really lose quite a bit. Remember, it was Katie Cronin in the first round yesterday against University of California, Santa Barbara. That's kind of a long word, if you ever try to say that. Against Cal Santa Barbara, they came back in the last 6 minutes and turned the game around.
Actually, it was against Northridge.
Northridge.
She scored 12 of her 19, another California school.
Right.
12 of her 19 points in the last 5 minutes. And off the Mitchum miss, Southwest Missouri gets another bucket, and look, it's only a 9-point lead.
Now they've turned the game around, and don't think Southwest Missouri State's just going to give up and die. They want to win this just as bad as the next team.
Double teaming on the ball there. As a 20-second timeout is called by Tom Collin and his staff. A single-digit lead. This is the closest that Southwest has been since about midway through the first half.
And right now, the momentum is really going with them.
12-2 run to get back into this basketball game. No quit, certainly, in Cheryl Burnett's team. And again, that run all the more impressive considering that Jackie Styles had yet to score in the second half.
You should see the intensity on Reed's face. Well, Shonda Reed is such a physical and emotional leader for this team. She's one of only of a couple of seniors on the team. She's the senior coach captain. And she has such a game face. I would expect her to really come alive.
Jackie Styles, 3 of 9 from the floor, 0 for 2 on 3-pointers. As Becky Hammon works against Ro Reed, puts up an elbow, and they're going to call it against Reed.
I don't know about that one. Reed was playing good defense, and Hammond did definitely throw out the forearm. They saw the contact, and immediately Reed, being the bigger of the two, got the foul. Now that can hurt them.
And 4 personals on Rashonda Reed, all of them coming here in this second half.
Yeah, that hurts.
Both teams are in the bonus, by the way, so Rashonda Reed is going to sit down. Kimberly McDowell comes back in, so you give up some intensity and certainly some muscle. And as Reed goes to the bench, she's screaming at the fans. A good contingent flying in here from Springfield, saying, "Get in this. We're still in it." Hammond hits the free throw. She has 21, 5 here in the second half. These are two really of the two best supported teams in the country. Southwest Missouri State always in the upper echelon of attendance in their home arena. Colorado State really stepping up the attendance since Tom Collin has taken over and taken this team to a new level. Stiles working against Manning.
Trying to take her one-on-one. Again, they got to get back in that team basketball. Wins it for them.
Oh, McDowell gets behind everybody and draws a foul. If it's on Manning, or Hammon rather, it will be her fourth. But they call it against Angie Gordon.
Jackie Stiles definitely wants to take over if she can, but it's a team basketball. Look how many people, because she's got the ball, they start swarming all over. That creates openings and gaps in the offense. That's how McDowell ended up open down in the paint.
That was a good pass from Brandy Robinson, but McDowell struggling at the line. Southwest missing some free throws here in the second half. They could get him back in. She hits 1 of 2. McDowell has 9. She's a sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma. Her team is down by 10, and here comes some pressure. Cheryl Burnett again says she doesn't consider this to be a great pressing team, but desperate times now.
Yeah, desperate measures for sure.
Tara Mitchum is guarding Becky Hammon now. She gets a little help from Robinson, and that works.
Very good hustle from Robinson.
Stiles wants the ball. She's going to pop. Her first bucket of the second half.
Long-awaited first bucket.
Took 13 and a half minutes for Jackie Stiles to get on the scoreboard here in the second half, and her team is down 8.
They got to get it over.
Angie Gordon with the basketball. Stiles guarding Manning. Mitchum again is on Hammond.
They've got to get the ball over a little sooner so they have a little more time to work in their offense. That was a good containing.
Shot clock goes off as Hammond misses. Shot clock violation. Great defense by the Lady Bears.
Very good containing trap. If you spend all your time in the backcourt, there's not enough time to really set up a decent offense once you finally get into the front court.
17 turnovers committed by Colorado State. And Todd Collin is one of the most calm people you've ever seen.
Unbelievable how calm he is.
Now, Rashonda Reed checks back in with those 4 fouls. His players say that he never yells at them. He's just very calm, and the players certainly respond to that. Brandy Robinson goes out after a couple of good defensive series and a nice assist.
Yeah, Reed back in the game.
Do or die, so she's in with the 4 fouls. Stiles! Over 3 players. There is Jackie Stiles. 16 points for her, a quick 4, and the Lady Bears only trail by 6.
This is incredible basketball, and we talked about it before. As great as you ever want to see, Jackie Stiles, it was sooner or later she's going to come alive. Later works out pretty well.
There's no way.
Over 3 defenders.
There's no way she should hit that shot. 5 straight points, though, for Jackie Stiles. Becky Hammon, meanwhile, going back on the line where she was just about automatic. Classic shot.
We talked about Hammond and her long resume. Jackie Stiles, we at least need to touch some of hers. She was Missouri Valley Conference MVP. She was the first sophomore ever to get that. Of course, as a sophomore, she's been leading the nation in scoring for most of the year.
And her team, she's been down 8.
Couple of All-American accolades as well, and she may very well get that ball back again.
Working underneath, and a foul is called against Southwest Missouri State on a screen. Off the ball, it's going to be called against Sarah Singer.
They can't get a break. I know Cheryl Burnett is over there saying the same thing. Can we please get a break?
18 turnovers against the Lady Bears. 61% of the free throws they've hit so far tonight, 78% for Colorado State, 18 of 23 as they go back for more. In the double bonus now will be Colorado State for the rest of this basketball game. Jackie Johnson's first of 2 is good.
It's those free throws that are coming into play, Pam. I tell you, at the end of the game, really all through the game, they're free, so make them count. And when you get down here into the clutch, they're so very important. Good poise from Johnson.
And the crowd, again, trying to exhort its team to a big defensive stop as we hit the 5.5-minute mark. Stiles takes over. And it goes in.
Talk about the shooter's touch.
18 points for Jackie Stiles.
She's taken off, and once she makes up her mind, she's tough to stop, just like Becky Hammon. This may end up being the Hammon and Styles show.
Singer trying to guard her. Randalls gives it up to Heyman. Shot clock to 13. Heyman misses. Battle underneath for the boards, and a foul is going to be called against Southwest Missouri State. Those of you watching this basketball game, stay with us. Coming up at the conclusion of the game, the Cracker Barrel 500. Stay tuned for some NASCAR racing. But in the meantime, some good women's basketball, do or die for both of these teams. As Jackie Johnson goes back to the line, Colorado State just 1 of 9 from three-point range in this half. One of the factors and one of the reasons why Southwest has been able to get back in it. Johnson misses bad.
Credit better defense from Southwest Missouri State.
Yen Kwa comes back in now. Almost a situational substituting now as Singer and Mitchum, the better defensive players, go out. Roe Reed in there, Rashonda Reed with her 4 fouls for Southwest Missouri. Johnson hits 1 of 2. Roxanne Manning is back in. Here's the defensive stopper. Jackie Styles has not done too well against Roxanne.
Right.
Now we'll see how Jackie responds now that the defensive gem is back in the game for Colorado State. Roxanne not that tall, only 5'8", a little bit shorter actually than Styles, who's also listed at 5'8". And Manning is called right away for too much body.
Very good from Styles. That was smart on her part. She used her body and went right into Manning. She throws her hands up, letting them know, hey, look, she's all over me. Look, look.
Yep, puts out her leg. Good work, Jackie Styles, who goes to the line.
And you know she's gonna ice those for sure. 84% from the line.
19 points for Jackie Styles. Still appreciably under her average. Styles has 20. Her team now down by 7.
Good defense.
Oh, great defense by Southwest Missouri State. Bodies flying everywhere, and look who's in the middle of it.
Yep.
Jackie Styles.
And she came from nowhere. She's so quick. Did we mention she's got 14 gold medals, holds the state record in track? Look, she comes flying from nowhere. She gets the trip. And back to the line again. She can significantly cut the lead down. It becomes a 5-point game if she nails both.
She's automatic, as you said here, from the line. 4 fouls, meanwhile, on Angie Gordon, who will take a break. And Cronin comes back in. Katie also has 4 fouls. McDill, Cronin, and Gordon with 4 fouls apiece for Colorado State. Rashonda Reed and Yen Kwa with 4 fouls for Southwest Missouri State. Both teams in the double bonus for the rest of the game. Styles, as usual, hits both. She's got 22.
It's a new game. It's a 5-point game now. It's a brand new game from what we saw going into the half.
An incredible effort by Southwest Missouri State to get back into this game.
That's a mismatch. I get the ball in the hands of Cronin.
She's got about a foot on Yen Kwa.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very obvious mismatch.
Hammon sees it, but decides to shoot for 3, misses badly. Hammon with position. Randalls gets it, a fresh 30 for Colorado State. Johnson, and they continue to be stone cold from 3-point range, but Hammon gets it done on the offensive glass.
If that's against Kwa, wow. She just cannot stay in the game.
Yen Kwa will foul out with no points.
And another one of the seniors, seniors on the team, Sheehan Reed.
No points, 2 rebounds for the senior, who again transferred from Louisiana Tech, a native of Normal, Illinois, and she can only hope that her team comes back and she'll get to play another game.
She's a very, very feisty player. I mean, she's one player that realizes her role. Qua, she gets in and tries to scuffle things up just a bit.
Heather Heyman is 7 for 7 from the free-throw line. She has 17 points.
Just a sophomore. Last year she was the WAC Conference Freshman of the Year. She's got some real talent, some good years ahead of her.
18 points. She's from Plymouth, Minnesota. And more pressure for Colorado State trying to hang on to the 7-point lead. Jackie Johnson guarding Stiles. And Heather Hanen going to be called for the foul from behind as she tried to help out on defense.
Stiles does a good job. She looks for that pass, kind of a give and go. She looks for that pass over the top, finds her position, and she uses very long strides on the way to the basket. She's not that tall, but she's got really, really long strides, and that's what helps her to penetrate.
Heather Hanen, just her first foul. As Stiles continues to be nearly perfect from the line, 11 of 13 so far for her.
She's keeping this game close. Again, she almost brings it back to 5.
11 of 14 make it for her, but the lead is only 6.
Oh,
if
yeah.
we hit the 4-minute mark, plenty of time left to go in this one.
It's a very winnable game for Southwest Missouri State, who a lot of people would have written off of this 10 minutes earlier.
Colorado State stone cold here in the second half, and they're shooting 25% from the court at the last break after a very good first half in which they shot 54%. Foul there, Carly Deer commits it. And Matt?
Feeling a little frustrated. In the beginning, she really did have a good hand on the ball, but as they both started to collapse towards the floor, she grabbed hold of Cronin.
And that is going to end Carly Deer's evening. She has 5 fouls, so 2 Lady Bears have fouled out.
Wow, that's a close game.
And Carly's going to foul out with 4 points and 3 rebounds. She is only a sophomore from Warrensburg, Missouri, so she will be back for a couple of more years. And because we have a little bit of time to substitute, we take it a nice little rest as Sarah Singer comes back in. Katie Cronin going to the line. She has 7 points and 4 rebounds this evening. This is her first free throw attempt. Cronin averaging about 14.5 points a game.
Yeah. Another superstar in her own right, 2-time All-WAC first team. As a junior last year, she got honorable mention Kodak All-American. She's had 6 double-doubles this year.
Knocks down 1 of 2. Cronin has 8. The lead is only 7. Does Southwest Missouri have enough time?
Come on. Come on, he's taking too long.
I should have gone. Yeah, you should have gone, man. You should have gone.
Stow it. He's coming, and he's gone. This is all I can get. You did good, Billy. You did real good.
Yeah, the boy should have planted that 3 hours ago.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Can I go now? No.
Some nights, it's the person you least expected. A 15-foot jumper or a 3-point play. The one who makes the steal, draws the charge, or converts the 1-and-1. Some nights, it's the person you least expected. Some nights, it's you.
Remember life in the fast lane?
I do.
First you meet,
The AA Women's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Nike.
Becky Hammon, the all-time leading scorer at Colorado State. We have a new number 2.
That's right, and you got a good look at her there. Katie Cronin just moved in. In fact, her first basket of the game moved past Teresa James at 1,848. So she's well over the 1,800 mark to score it, and following her best friend in the ranks.
Colorado State with the lead here, up by 7. The Lady Bears with the basketball. Stiles finds McDowell, who doesn't know what to do with it. Gives it to Mitchum, who beats Hammond, but can't get it to fall. Held ball, it goes to Colorado State.
Good fight on the offensive boards again from Mitchum. Smart for her to try to follow her shot. They're really going after it now the way they should have been going after it in the first half.
And Cheryl Burnett has got to be careful. Rashonda Reed, her senior co-captain, goes and gets her and says, Coach, don't get a T. We're still in this. We have more basketball when we come back.
Mom, can I watch TV?
No, Billy, do your homework.
It's too dark. Why can't we use electricity like the other kids?
Billy, you know we're trying to cut costs.
We've got plenty of candles down in the basement, son.
Billy?
It wasn't me.
Grandma.
I'm okay. I'll just walk it off.
How do you plan on saving money for the future? Conseco's wide range.
To your kids about drugs. They get the message. You care about them. Start the conversation today. Talk. Listen. Stay involved.
Cheryl Burnett's team has clawed its way back into this basketball game, but she almost took him out herself.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's how you get your point, babe. It's also how you can hurt your team, because she easily could have gotten a technical foul there.
And look at Rashonda Reed again, the senior coming out and being her coach, because Cheryl Burnett came well out, even past the free throw line to ask why there were no fouls called on that last possession. And the comparison, we're getting a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah. How about this turnaround? 23 points. We were just talking about Styles having not scored since the 12 points she scored in the first half, and already she's come back and snuck back in and almost at her average already.
And in all fairness, she does not lead her team in assists like Becky Hammon does. Hammon called the best combo guard in the country by her head coach, Tom Collin. Hard to disagree. As Heyman draws contact and the foul.
Heyman, I'm really impressed with her, too. To be one of the younger players on the team, she's really, really stepped up, Heather Heyman.
Sarah Singer called for her second foul, and Heyman goes back to the line. Again, everybody in the double bonus for the rest of this basketball game. Southwest Missouri State outscoring Colorado State by 10 in the second half. No timeouts left for Southwest Missouri State, so they're going to have to do this one on their own, and as the clock dictates, two more for Colorado State.
Yeah, and that could hurt.
Want
to try to save that one for crunch time, but they had to use them, I guess. And now it's just got to be real smart play.
The lead is back to 9. Styles pounded by Jackie Johnson. So shoot anyway. Rebound. Roe Reed goes right up with it. Can't get it to fall. One more time.
Off balance.
Battling, but just not able to knock it down.
Looking for the trap. Didn't do it.
Hammond goes between two players.
Same thing happened. Deja vu.
She hit the nail, put the nail in the coffin with a three-pointer the other night against Cal State Northridge. Might have just done it again tonight. Mitchum inside. Don't count that. It's coming back to Colorado State. We're down by 12. A huge three for Katie Cronin. 20 turnovers now for Southwest.
Again, this is senior leadership. Hammond finds Cronin. They always look for each other. Cronin wide open out there in Treyland. No problem nailing that one. In the clutch, when they need him the most, it's been Cronin that's been stepping up these last few games.
Colorado State has scored the last 6 points of this game. And look at Southwest Missouri, absolutely nada from long range. Big difference in this game.
Pretty much everything else is balancing out. The field goal percentage started to even out. We talked about Hammond and Styles. Their numbers started to even out, at least from the scoring end, but the difference has been those threes, those critical threes like Cronin just nailed. And of course, Hayden at the beginning of the first half, the end of the first half.
Becky Hammon back at the line. She is now 11 of 12 from the free throw line, has 25 points. She is over her average. She averages 22.7 on the season. And nails it again. 26 for the All-American from Rapid City, South Dakota. She says she likes to hunt. She hunts quail, pheasant, and tonight she's been hunting some bear. Her team's up 14. Mitchum, desperation. Randall gets it. Nothing to do now but foul. In case you might be wondering, as Colorado State continues Becky Hammon is going to be our Nike Player of the Game. Look at that line, 26 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. And we will be seeing her in Los Angeles as Colorado State advances to play in the West region. They will play the winner of tomorrow night's Kentucky-UCLA game. Randall's trying to salt it away. She has 7 points and 9 boards. A great effort for Randall's again, who broke both of her wrists earlier this year. She took a charge, fell back on her hands. That must have just been hideous.
And the thing was, I guess I shouldn't say the joke was, but they had been trying to teach her how to take a charge. She was so timid. She didn't want to take the charge, and then when she finally does, she breaks both of her wrists. If I were her, I'd stand up and go, didn't I tell you I didn't want to do this thing?
Stiles battles, gets the rebound of her own miss, and gets the foul called. So Jackie fighting to the end. And once this basketball game concludes, stay with us as we will take you to the Cracker Barrel 500 auto racing coming up next on ESPN 2. Jackie Stiles goes to the line with 1:44 left. Her team getting back into this, knocking the lead down to single digits. The Colorado State coming back nicely. Jackie has 24 points. 2 more years of Jackie Stiles. She's only a sophomore, so we'll see her next year. Incredible. Hammon with the rebound. And I'll tell you what, we had talked with head coach Tom Collin, and he said that he thought that there would be neutralization, that Stiles and Hammon might balance each other out. Reed and Cronin would balance each other out. Somebody else, he said, would have to come up big.
Yeah.
Heather Hammon is that person.
She is. And, of course, Cronin, she did well. And Randall's even a little bit on the inside, because we talked about how the inside play was going to make a difference. And she stepped up and played some good defense. Reed didn't get off to the start she needed to.
But in addition to these 20 points for Heather Hammon, she has 9 rebounds.
Wow.
So this sophomore from Minnesota has really played well when her team needed it most. 21 points.
Yeah.
Almost a double-double. 1 rebound away from a double-double. And 1:39 away from Los Angeles. Stiles forces contact. There's no quit in Jackie Stiles.
No. She's getting some from her coach, trying to give her the indication that, hey, when you penetrate like that, look low, because I think Reed was open on the weak side. Because remember, when Stiles penetrates, everyone panics and kind of moves into her. That means there's some players that are wide open. She's got to be able to see that.
Stiles knocks down her 25th point.
Just the same, in all fairness, to Stiles in her decision-making, she's the type of player that can have 3 people on her and still pop the J.
And she's thinking, obviously, if she hits the J, she gets the foul, she'll have a 3-point play. Quick way to get her back into this. 26 points, she's now past her average as Becky Hammon takes a very smart timeout. Double team there, trapped by Mitchum and Brandy Robinson.
She was looking to step through the trap, but couldn't do it.
Becky Hammon's team going to try to close this puppy out as her team tries to make its first ever Sweet 16 appearance.
When I was in school, math was a real struggle for me. I wanted to do something to make it easier for my kids. After all, if you know the basics, math homework can be a lot easier.
As a parent, you know it's important for kids to get the basics of math, but you don't like sending them off to their room to memorize tables or to do drills. Well, now there's help. The Math Game, from the creators of the phonics game.
The winner of that UCLA-Kentucky game that we will all watch tomorrow with much interest on ESPN. As Southwest Missouri State continues to foul, really the only shot they have left, even though everybody's in the double bonus.
Right.
Stiles has 4 fouls. Her first one, though, the second half, she did a good job of staying out of foul trouble, and she was helped along, of course, by not having to guard Becky Hammon in the second.
Right, exactly.
But the Lady Bears, you have to give them credit for getting back in this. Their defense really stiffening up tremendously in the second half.
Well, they did really step up, and even the individual players like Mitchell and Clark, for a brief moment, that did have the very tough assignment of playing Becky Hammon, really turned up their defense a notch. The traps as well on the football pressure has helped.
How about Jackie Johnson with 11 points? She only averages 4. She's done very well. Stiles Stiles gets her shot blocked by Hammon, who's going to have a breakaway. And she's fouled for traveling. Sarah Singer did a great job of getting back.
Good hustle from Singer. Not often you force Becky Hammon into a traveling situation.
18 turnovers against Colorado State. Stiles going to wait, pick up the basketball, save a couple of seconds. She gets it over to Robinson. Not an offensive threat. Rashonda Reed doesn't shoot many threes. That one is off the mark. Only 3 of 11. She'd only taken 11 threes all season until that one. And Jackie Johnson's called for a foul away from the ball. With 1:03 left, Colorado State continues its parade to the free throw line. The Rams only 5 of 19 from the field in this second half. 26%, only 5 made field goals in this second half, and they're still up by a lot.
It's been the free throws. You got to credit that it's a great free throw shooting team. As Johnson nails one.
71% from the season for the team from the free throw line. And Heather Hanen, it's official now, has a double-double. At least unofficially official. 21 points and 10 boards. Stiles breaks through, can't buy a bucket. And more fouls. And the fans here in Fort Collins are yelling, "Stud the bus." Southwest Missouri.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I'm reading some lips here. They could be saying other things as well, but that's the predominant thing. And Rashonda Reed is going to foul out, and that will end her collegiate career for Southwest Missouri State. What a great career she had. She finished with 12 points here tonight. All Missouri Valley Conference first team, all Missouri Valley Conference defensive team.
And now they're chanting Sweet 16.
For the first time ever. And you talk about a love affair. You mentioned it earlier about all of the commercial signs here in Fort Collins. Everybody cheering for this team. But all the talk everywhere you went in town was about this Ram team. There's a love affair between Fort Collins and this team, and they're going to have fun tonight. Becky Hammon and Jackie Johnson laughing around center court. They're enjoying this, and they should.
Yeah.
Randall's misses both. Becky with the steal.
And, of course, it comes back into the calm hands of Becky Hammon.
Up 17, and she's still throwing her body around the floor.
Yeah.
And the senior from Rapid City, South Dakota, hears it from her hometown crowd.
And they absolutely adore her here, as well they should. She's a great representative, not just of Colorado State basketball, but I think what basketball should be in this NCAA tournament period. She's got a lot of heart as well as a lot of talent. And again, she's so humble, a nice person.
And she's lauded, really, for going the extra step. She stays and signs autographs for
and that's really
hours and hours and hours, and she always has time, and a lot of people look up to her. Certainly doesn't have many peers when it comes to playing basketball. 28 points for Becky Hammon. What a way to go out in her last home game. Singer nails the three. No timeouts, remember, for this ball club for Southwest Missouri State. Uh-oh. Wow. Cheryl Burnett.
Oh, wow. The announcer, here's what happened. With all the fouls at the end of the game, the announcer had the mic on, and guests didn't realize it. I'm not sure whether he realized it or not, but all of a sudden you heard this huge "come on" in frustration of the constant fouls at the end of the game. He just wants it over with so he can enjoy the celebration with his Colorado State Rams.
Cheryl Burnett went over and was talking to an NCAA official, probably saying, "Can I get something for that?"
Yeah, they didn't like that at all. Wow, you get a look at him. Slightly embarrassed. It was just such a loud "come on."
I think he's chewing gum, too.
Yeah.
Becky Hammon has just put up an even 30 points.
That's hilarious.
Stiles.
Oh, what a move.
Oh, yeah.
Right to the very finish. She's got style, that Stiles.
Jackie has 28, so she's 2 below Becky Hammon, but the important statistic will be the to Becky Hammon and her Colorado State Rams. It's going to play out the clock. That's a big win. Now the fall for Collins are going to Los Angeles. The first ever Sweet 16 for the Colorado Rams. Becky Hammon with 30 points. We will see them in Los Angeles taking on the winner of Kentucky and UCLA. Styles with 28 points upset, but we will see her for the next 2 years. For Vera Jones and the rest of our ESPN crew, I'm Cam Ward. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. Stay tuned to the Cracker Barrel 500.
The 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup season rolls into its fourth venue.